And I want to talk to you from the subject about why bad things happen to good people. Why bad things happen to good people. Isn't it interesting? You ever felt that when you're trying to do something good and then you have some funny stuff that seems to happen to you? It's amazing that I know some people don't look like they have trouble to start in their life until they turn from the ways of the world and commit themselves to God. It looks like all hell breaks loose. Isn't that interesting? And oftentimes, you know, we get messed up because of, we get conflicted in our own souls. You know why? Because of these two things. Conflict is the result of expectation and reality. The gap between the two, between expectation and the reality of what you actually find, that determines your level of conflict or frustration. If you had no expectation, or if the expectations were low and the reality was low, there would be no disappointment. Your disappointment, your conflict in life happens when expectation is here, but reality is here. And the gap of that conflict, of that frustration, of that disappointment, that gap is determined by that amount of distance between your expectations and the reality which you actually meet. So if you've had this expectation that if you love God and if you know God, that nothing bad will ever happen to you, and then something bad happens to you, but your expectation was here that God would protect you and that nothing bad would happen, but then something bad happens and the reality comes here, now there's this conflict in your soul and we are searching for answers. We want to know why. We really desperately want to know, why is this? Why is this happening to me? I mean, everything from the tsunami that happened in Indonesia that killed hundreds of thousands, the hurricane that happened, Hurricane Katrina, and its devastation that it created down in Louisiana and surrounding areas, to the devastation of the Haitian earthquake, where so many people have asked the question why such horrible tragedies would take place. In fact, you know, Haiti's earthquake, the death and destruction that happened there was indiscriminate. It was crushing everything from the White House to the churches, killing both believers and non-believers. So how do you explain that? Didn't we just read how God said that He makes His sun rise on the evil and on the good, and He sends rain on the just and the unjust? Now that alone tells you that there are certain situations that are going to happen whether you're saved or not, whether you're good or not, that there are some situations that will happen to you in this life just because you're in the world and you are a human being.